Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Plan and Traffic. And we do this every Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So tell all your people that are into cars, boats, trucks. We talk about it all. I got my man Ray from Motor Mouth Radio. What's up, Ray?
Lewis, that's right. If it lives, breathes, rolls, hiccups, belches, or
That's
puts out
right.
smoke, we'll talk about it.
so,
And cars.
yeah. So, my thought was today is to talk about winter projects because we're coming out of the winter time, going into spring, and car shows are starting to pop up. And so, if anybody that's on YouTube Live or Facebook Live, if you want to comment in the chat, we're welcome to take your chats or your comments in. And if we like them, maybe we'll pull you in on screen and you can tell us about them. So this is an interactive show. So please interact with us.
So I think the best example of what you're talking about is you're doing it. You're living it. You're driving it. You're in your winter project right now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
because
so. We should tell people about what you're doing and where you're at.
yeah. So over the winter, actually for the last 3 years, but over the winter we finished off our bus, which it really ain't all the way finished, but our schoolie. So we're out traveling the country right now. We retired and we're just enjoying the sunshine. We're chasing the sun everywhere. So our winter project this past winter was getting all the brakes and all the mechanical things done here on the bus, and so far it's going pretty good.
So you know what? I always find that we have a community of people to follow us and know what we're doing, but there's always those people who don't know or they just came in. Explain what a schoolie is.
So a schoolie is a retired school bus, and it could be a small shuttle bus. It could be a full size school bus, which mine is. It's 72 passenger bus, and we converted it into a mobile home.
Yeah.
Not a mobile home,
Well,
uh,
RV,
yeah,
right?
RV.
Well,
So
mobile home RV, same thing, right? Kind of,
yeah, yep,
I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
yep. So it's a large community. As we're starting to find out that a lot of people started doing this around COVID, and it's became a big. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
It's became a big part of our life now.
Hell yeah. Well, now you're living it. Have you found or seen that since people got involved with this, that the price of used buses has gone up?
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
When we first started looking at this stuff, you can get a bus from 1,500 to 5,000.
Uh-huh.
So they're still around. You know, you can still find them in those price range, but it's getting hard to find anything under 2,000.
Cheaper than a muscle car, that's for sure. You can't get a decent car project for that kind of money. So if I was to say I wanted to do this, or anybody was to approach you with that, what would you, how would you advise them as to what platform to buy, how to get in, or how to start? Is have you ever formulated those opinions?
Yeah. So my bus is a conventional bus. It has the dog nose.
Right.
If I had to do it again, I wouldn't have bought this. I would have
Yeah.
bought a flat nose rear engine.
Okay.
Um, some people that we're traveling with in their schoolie, they're next to us right now. Actually, uh, they have a flat nose rear engine, and it should be a activity bus. So the activity bus has storage under it for like the football teams, band. You know, the schools when they go over the road, take the kids over the road. So those are activity buses, and they're geared for the freeway.
Right.
So and they have the storage under the bottom, so it works out a lot better. So that's what I would recommend on a bus.
All right. So that's for you. That's for project number two, I guess. That's the next one.
Hmm. Yep. No, no, no. If I get another bus, it's going to be already done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'd be a MCI, like a charter bus, one of the big buses.
Wow. That's killer. That's killer.
Yeah, because we've seen a couple at the schoolie swarm, and it is you just have so much more room and so much more storage. They drive real like a car. You know, I mean, it's just you you're moving from a bus to a Mercedes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So, I know the buddy who I work for at the shop, he has a full scale motorhome, a big jammy with the pop out sides and everything. He's been trying to sell that thing for a couple of years and it just isn't moving. And it's beautiful. The inside of that's nicer than my house.
Yeah. They're really expensive.
They are, yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
they are. But
One of my friends bought a brand new one from he went and got it in Indiana. That's where they make them.
uh-huh.
And he paid $350, $375.
Sure.
And on his way home, the cabinet started falling off off the wall.
No fooling.
Yeah, they're really not made well. I mean, they're pretty chintzy.
Yeah.
But you pay a lot of money for
Yeah.
them. There was a guy that had a school or had a Class A big motorhome, and he said he had to change all the wiring. All the wiring was like garbage. Yeah. So I hear those kind of stories a lot.
Well, my buddy has had good luck with his that way. The worst problem he had was he was in a campground in Tennessee, and they said it was rated, you could bring in that type of vehicle, but he said the access road was just wide enough for him to get in, and once he was in, getting out was the issue. And when he got out, he kind of fell off the little roadway, and he got stuck. I guess there was some rain or whatever, and it washed it out a little bit. And I think it was when they got the tow truck in there to jack him out of there to get him up back on the road. The windshield's cracked, and
wow,
that thing's got huge windshields, huge glass.
Yeah,
and of course the bottom of the bus where it hit the pavement got damaged. So he put an insurance claim in, got paid for all of it. But he said, "Man, seeing that glass crack he thought it was going to just pop out."
Really?
But it didn't.
They twisted it. Yeah.
Yeah, it twisted, right. So and you don't realize something that big, it's just a big hollow box,
Tube, yeah, yep.
So it was crazy. So yeah, it was nutty,
So I've learned a lot down here, talking to different builders, people who built schoolies and stuff. It's you're on an island unless you come to one of these events and start talking to people, just like the car people.
Yeah.
You go talk to people and learn something about a carburetor or about a fuel injection, the stuff that you can't figure out yourself. You look at something else and you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Right.
So I'm learning a lot. Yep.
Well, yeah, you said it's a community, and you can learn a lot off each other. I know you've had some good experiences already with these people, and it's good to know. It's good to know that still exists. It's moved, it's moved into this venue now, which is a whole new thing. But I mean, the RV community has been around for a long time, and the camping community has been around for a long time. But now with the buses, and it's kind of maybe even some of the same people. They just maybe move in and out of the different arenas.
Right.
But
yep.
It's just good to see that people still do have. They're nice, people. There's nice people out there that are, they're not all pricks. So
we've met a lot of great people. A lot of great people. I mean, and almost every industry that I go to, like when I go to gun things, those people are good people.
Right.
Car people. I mean, I've been through a lot of different hobbies, and I'm coming to find there's still a lot of good people out here.
Yeah. I've I had the same experience. You're going to find one or two, but I always found too, the more I branched out and got away from home base, people got maybe a little nicer or a little more accepting. I don't know. It's maybe it's my perception of it. I don't know, but yeah. So you said before you talk about winter projects and the bus. I think you said it. It's kind of like what we all say about our project cars. Hey, the car's done. No, the car's not done. What do you mean that's never done? There's always something. I got stuff planned for my car that I'm going to change or add. There's just always something, that I've never done. And I think that's the nature of the whole thing. It's like, we don't want, that's why so many guys, when they're done, what do? They get another one.
Yeah.
And I said it too, like I got another one in me. I want to do another project from scratch because, there's a lot of fun. I mean, sourcing your parts and and figuring out what you're going to do and finding those happy accidents that you didn't know existed and whatever. It's
Hmm.
that's what most guys like. And then the actual work itself is rewarding. The guy whose car I was working on at the shop, the Mustang,
Hmm.
he's now got his hands on the car uh, because it's at the other shop, and that's the beauty of this guy who owns the shop, Mike, same guy with the RV. He told me this, and now he told this guy this. He said, "Listen, the car's here. We're going to do work on it, but if you want to come and take it apart, or do a lot of the work yourself," he goes, "This way, I don't have to charge you to have my guy do it." It's like, now he doesn't do that for everybody. I mean, you can't do
Right.
that for everybody, and you wouldn't want to do it for everybody. But there's not many guys that'll invite you into their shop and tell you to work on your own car, you know,
Hmm.
so he doesn't have to charge you. And that's what he did with this buddy with the Mustang, who's now getting his hands wet, his feet wet, and now he's getting a little bit into the wiring harnesses, and he's telling me like, wow, yeah, this is interesting stuff. And I said,
Yeah.
yeah, you just take your time, and he's finding it very, very rewarding, you know.
Yeah, because you're actually completing something on your own project. It is rewarding.
And the thing he told me was he this guy's a videographer. He does great video work, but he said to me, uh, he's watched me do some electrical work, and he changed the rear taillight harness, which was an easy one. But he said to me, he says, when I was a kid, my father got me this kit. It was electronics kit, and I guess it was kind of like a breadboard where you have to you put in components and you wire it with jumper cables. You have
Hmm.
to the wires become like the lands on a circuit board. That's what's called a breadboard. This way you can change things and move stuff around. And he
Hmm.
said, I forgot how much I liked doing that. He goes, so I think like that's becoming now. He's transposing that into this electrical work. And he goes, I forgot how much I like that, so I think I'm really going to like doing this. And I said, well, great. I said, that's good. You're reviving something from your past. Some kids had chemistry kits, and then they remembered how
Right.
much they like making smoke bombs, you know. So I like it because I'm seeing him find new interest in something that he had interest in as I guess as a teen.
Right. Right.
And I said to him, yeah, you're going to make mistakes. I said, just take your time. I said, I'll coach you. I'll help you out as much as I can. And, and now it's like he's going to pick up another skill. He may never do it again, or it may be the start of something,
Right.
getting down the road. I don't know. We'll see.
You know what else is starting to become a thing? I don't know. I just found out about it. It could have been a thing forever, but in my town, some guys, uh, a shop owner opened up his garage for other people to come in and work in his shop, but they had their own tools, and they had like sections where they would bring their cars in, and it was a pretty
Okay.
big garage. So he would have maybe 5 cars in,
Right.
5 different people. It was like a community workshop.
Okay. That's the first thing I think of is that's real dangerous, and a lot of guys won't go near it with a 10-foot pole because you don't know what Yahoo's coming in,
Yeah.
and going to try and jack up his car and jump under it without a jack stand and crush himself.
Yeah.
We've done that here, but with the car clubs. In the one club I'm in, one of the guys has a shop, and he's told the members, listen, on this particular Saturday, you guys want to come down, I'm going to open up the shop, bring your car in, you put it on the lift. You want to do an oil change, or you want to just look around or check things out. You want to do some light maintenance.
Hmm.
That's the day. But he's there to supervise, and and I actually helped him too. I helped him supervise some of the other people. But he had like ramp lifts, so it wasn't like he had to set the thing up or anything. It was a lot easier. Um, I mean, you still got to watch people because they could do some
Yeah.
stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So that's good that he did that. It's
Well,
not
I think it was his close friends. It wasn't like just
okay.
a big community thing, but yeah, it was his buddies.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's pretty nice. I never seen anything like that, so that was pretty
That
cool.
is good because a lot of guys they don't. Most people don't have access to a lift. In fact, I just worked on a friend's car this weekend. He has a sizzle lift in his garage, and he's restoring a GTX. We had to put the exhaust system on, so I knew like, all right, we don't have a lift. This is going to be interesting. So the car was up on jack stands, and we put the system in. It went really well, and we just kind of mocked it up and didn't really clamp anything down fully. We left it just snug because the idea is you want to get the car on the wheels and check it again. And I said to him, listen, when this car is done and ready, if you want to bring it to the shop, we can put it on the lift, and then we can go over everything and check out bolts and stuff and all. And he goes, oh yeah, that'd be pretty good because with the scissor lift you can only do so much. On a real lift you can do a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
it's always nice to get that have that availability. So good
So
stuff.
another thing we've done, I bought a Jeep while we're down here, and so I got all my tow package and everything all put on, and so I got it hooked up on the bus tonight. So this would be the first time I'm pulling it.
Did you get it lettered yet, Shea Whitey?
No, not yet. I'm working on it.
You better watch that, man. I was telling my wife about that. I said, some things you just can't do. I said, Lewis, I told her what you did. I said, now I couldn't do the opposite. I said, I get run out of town, man. I get killed. I said, but you can get away with it. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, so we got it all hooked up tonight. I got all my lights all hooked up. Everything's working.
Nice.
So we're gonna pull out of here tomorrow. We've been here for 4 days.
Okay.
And we're gonna pull out tomorrow and go down to just east of or just west of Daytona Beach.
Okay.
And Ed Bears is gonna be down there doing one of his shows.
Nice.
So we're gonna go over and hang out with him for a little bit.
Cool.
And then I think we're gonna go to Orlando for a day or two. I might go over to Tampa. I gotta see my man Keith.
Yep.
So I might jump over to Tampa. Okay. Depending on my time, because we got to get back up to Ohio. We got to babysit.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So
wow.
We got to head back.
Yeah.
Yep.
So at that point, are you going to be making plans for a rear end swap or what?
I really think I am, because I talked to a couple guys down here, and they said even if I drop one gear, it will make a big difference.
Right.
So I'm either going to do, that's probably 100%. I'm going to do that, but I might switch transmissions too, because mine's a 4-speed, and a lot of these guys are running 6 speeds.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't know. I might be able to buy a whole bus for like 2,000, in between 2,000 and 3,000.
Right.
Pull a tranny out in the rear and junk the rest of the bus.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or even pull the motor out and have a spare motor. I mean.
Okay. Yeah, and you can sell the shell to a vagrant and let them live in it.
Yeah, drop it off at
the dude live in
it. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I'm definitely going to do one of the two, the transmission or the rear.
Yeah.
Because this thing was killing me on the way down here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what we say. You get the vehicle out and you kind of learn what the shortcomings are.
Yeah, so I'm going to change a couple things on the inside. Won't be real major things, but this stove is out of here.
Did you kick it out already?
Nah, because I don't want the hole in the cabinets.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So if it wasn't for that, I would have put it out in Akron.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, and that was that was because it was noisy. You said, right?
Oh,
it was clanging around.
Yeah, it was rattling. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, now you got the flat top. Flat top is cool. That really, like I said, that's. I've been trying to tell my wife about those for years. You can do anything on a flat. You can do almost anything on a flat top except fried chicken. Yeah. You can do eggs. You can do burgers. You can do hash brown potatoes. You can do steaks. You can do pretty much anything except fried chicken. But they're
so we have electric cooktop, and then we have the griddle outside.
Right.
I pull that out. So we did a lot of cooking on the griddle. That was nice.
Yeah.
But this stove's out of here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's it. It's just like the mechanical stuff. You learn by doing, and you had a good idea for the stove. It didn't work out. Go to
Yep.
Plan B.
Yep.
That's it.
So I got to do some. I was going to sell my my table saw, but I got to go back and make my new cabinets.
Yeah, don't sell that yet, right?
Yeah, I gotta be sure I'm done.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's get the fellas in and see what they're talking about.
All right. All right.
Hey,
Here's the
Brian.
back
Hey,
man.
guys. What's up?
Keith, Jim.
Keith.
What's up?
Jim,
Papa Squirrel.
Papa Squirrel.
I'm
Hey,
finding
guys,
some place where I got a good signal, and I'm going to be, well, we're only going to be here for a few more days because we're at an event.
Oh, good. Where are you guys at?
Tucson.
Tucson. You know, I was just talking to some friends that are traveling next to us in Schoolie, and they have some property out there. I'm gonna go check it out. I might buy a piece out there.
Well, we've been in Arizona now since February because we're helping a friend of ours at a Renaissance fair up in Phoenix.
Mhm.
We're going to be getting out of the business. We're basically giving our business to our daughter.
Oh, nice.
And then we're going to, I can't use the word retire because my wife's got to make stuff. She can't help it.
Yeah.
Downsize.
Well, she'll be the corporate office, and your daughter will be
Oh,
the
boy.
field agent.
Yes, she will be.
Right.
And we're going to, like I said, sell her the truck motorhome. We're going to buy a trailer and make it into a quasi sleeper and shop and buy us another pickup.
Mhm.
And then we're going to let her do the work
There you go.
and the taxes.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yeah. It will be nice.
Can she work for Brian too?
Yeah.
Because he needs a
Yeah.
bookkeeper.
You know, it would be nice if she could because that kid loves numbers
Ah.
and she's good with them. And I'm not good with numbers. I'm okay, but
Mhm.
I don't have that finesse.
Yeah.
And she loves it. She
That's
thinks.
good.
And the funny thing was, she hated math in school.
Yeah, when you get older, you learn to like stuff you didn't like before.
Boy, don't you?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's funny how that happens.
Yep.
Well, the wife decided to get out of the business because for last year I was so bad that they couldn't even leave me somewhere without me falling down or getting lost.
Oh.
I mean,
Mhm.
she left me at the gym show last year, and I drove the car to a convenience store and didn't even know where I was.
Oh, that's not good.
And
Yeah.
and it was so bad that she was afraid that she was going to have to put me in a nursing home. And then
Yeah.
we found out what it was. The VA was over medicating me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, I literally was lost. I mean, I couldn't remember anything,
Right.
wouldn't listen to instructions. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Now I understand why people talk about they over medicate the old.
Mm-hmm.
Because unfortunately, I celebrated my 75th birthday a few days ago.
Oh, happy birthday.
congratulations.
God bless.
75. I'm looking at that going, when I was in high school, I didn't think I was going to make that because Vietnam was going on. And I figured I was going to get drafted and shot
Yeah.
because my dad had all the luck. He'd gone all the way through 4 years of World War II, had grenades, one blow up between his legs, got shot a couple of times and things like that. I figured he'd used up all the luck. And I didn't want to go. Of course, he
Yeah.
didn't want me to go either. His idea was Vietnam sucked. And of course, now we buy stuff from Vietnam.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, clothes you can't buy. Clothes. It's not from Vietnam. Everything is.
I got a hand cart from Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, she's decided she wants to just get out of the full timing um, with this business and traveling because she likes to travel too, but she doesn't want to have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean,
So,
you guys put in your time.
yeah, I think I should be getting parole pretty soon.
Mm. So when I'm out that way, I need to get the list of Renaissance fairs because I want to hit all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I definitely know you want to hit the one up here in Phoenix.
Really, that's a good one.
It's a good one. It's a big one. There's one also in your direction of the coast, I think in North Carolina. That's a 8 week fair,
Oh yeah.
and yeah,
You know when it
and
is?
yes, it's back. Can't tell you the exact dates, but it's in August.
Okay. Yeah, let me
And,
know because that's the kind of stuff we want to go see.
Yeah, I'll
ever-
let you know.
You ever
'cause
do the
we're-
one in Maryland?
No,
'Cause we have it's like 8 or 10 weeks or something like that. We have a
Yeah.
big one up here.
Oh yeah, even Texas has a huge one.
There's one in New York too, up in Roscoe every year.
Yeah,
That's another big one.
So you mentioned that you're going to buy a trailer. So when I was at Schoolie Swarm, I met a guy there that has the MCI big bus, and he pulls a trailer behind it, and it has he makes knife sheaths,
hmm
and it's set up really nice. And he puts his Jeep inside when they're traveling, but then he pulls it out and it turns it into a shop. Man, the walls, flip up tables, really nice setup. And I was kind of on the fence about doing something like that, but I think I'm going to get a trailer and put my leather stuff in that, and only do certain shows, like certain schoolie events, or go do something like you do, and then when I'm not, I'll just pull a Jeep.
yeah.
Yep. So I think I might do that.
Well, it's good to do that. We bought a leather machine to sew with,
Mhm.
but I went nutsoid before we even got a chance to use it. It's still sitting at the house unused,
Yeah.
and so when we get back home, I'm going to have to start learning to use it.
Yeah, I love sewing, man. It's like a therapeutic thing.
It would be, but I'll guarantee you, if you do like they do at Leah does at this, well, she does the Arizona Fair and the one in the East Coast. People ask, "What do you do during the week?" Make product. What do you do in the weekend? Work.
Yeah.
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 And be careful because you could go down a rabbit hole and find out. I work more now that I retired than I did before I retired.
Yeah.
Copy that.
That's easy to do. Yep.
And that's why it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. Because I admit I'm getting tired of, well, I tell you, I'm just tired of people
There you go.
because the trouble with retail sales is you run into way too many.
Idiots.
Oh, God.
There we go. Oh, look, Brian, poor Brian is.
Yeah, Brian's sitting over there going,
Brian's like,
yep.
See, my theory is I'm going to sell something and get out of Dodge before they come back to mess with me.
Oh no, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen
No.
these days.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That don't happen because they'll find you the next year.
If
Yeah,
you,
right.
it doesn't matter if you have one of these,
They'll find you.
they will find you,
Yeah,
or they will text the hell out of you. Trust me.
my wife almost got into a physical altercation with one of the customers last weekend because she walked in and the first thing she started doing was bitching about everything in the shop. It's not sewn right, it's not this, it's not that. And she was even criticizing some of the things my wife had just personally finished.
Ooh.
And if you know I know my wife, you guys don't. She is very critical about what she does.
Hmm.
And if it's got a defect, she won't put it out. Or she'll sell it as a defect and let people know. And that's the same way with Leah. But and the lady kept complaining and complaining, and then tried to steal a damn snap collar.
Wow. She's trying
I
to throw
mean,
you off the game.
she walked out of the door with, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot I clipped it onto my neck."
See, that's the kind of person who needs tased.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you can't, because damn it, if you get a fair that makes about a third of your income, you have to keep going.
Yeah.
And you can ask Keith and Brian about customers that just bitch about everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Keith, if I come down towards your way, what's good to go to?
You want to do? There's like Busch Gardens amusement park. If you want to go on rides.
Nah, I'm
No.
too old for that.
I mean,
I
you can
think
go
my
over
wife.
to Clearwater Beach.
Yeah, my
The
wife wants
waves
to
aren't
see,
as good as the other side.
Is it? My wife wants to see some alligators and manatees. What do you call them? Manatees?
Yeah. Yeah. Manatees. I don't. There's a place down over here, right down, literally like 10 miles away.
Yeah.
By the power plant, that the manatees all hang out. Usually in the winter, they might still be there. I haven't been there in a while. But they go there. They go over to over by the power plant because the power plant dumps out all warm water.
Warm water, yeah.
So then so they're in the cold water. So they come over there. I mean, hundreds of them just go hang out over there during the winter because the water is so much warmer. And then when it starts getting summer, they go out and go find cooler. There's like up in Crystal River, the manatees will go there during the summer because the water is like whatever degree, 70 something degrees all year long, and it's warmer. It's be cooler than, or maybe warmer. Let me see. It'll be 73. The other water will be hotter. So yeah, they'll want to be hanging out in a temperature that is constant.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know if they're there yet. I know in the summer they are. Yeah, I don't know what else. Like I said, there's Clearwater Beach, but you already went on the other side, and Daytona and stuff like that over there. There's the waves, and the beach is a lot nicer over there.
Are they?
Yeah, this is just on the Tampa Bay side, where it's nice. It's nice, but it's the Gulf of America side, right? Exactly.
There you go.
Oh God, don't get me started.
Yeah.
So we're probably gonna go to Orlando for a couple days, and then maybe head that way.
Go to White Castle.
Yeah, go to White Castle.
Try to drive through with the bus.
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't think that would fit.
No.
I'm thinking about that drive-through. I don't think it's kind of tight.
So does
I might be there. I might be there on Saturday in Orlando.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't know where you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Daytona.
Let me know. I'm actually staying at a Host Harvest in between Orlando and Daytona. So I'll probably be in my Jeep. I can go either way. You know what I mean? I'll go down to Orlando for a little bit. I got to visit some friends down there.
Yeah.
But maybe Saturday or somewhere around there.
Yeah, they're having the what the hell's it called? The EV Expo or something like that. They're having all electric cars, electric bikes, anything that's electric at the Orlando Convention Center, I think.
You know,
I don't think they'd think it was funny if you brought a fire extinguisher in with you, would they?
A lot of
it won't do good. I mean, I need a lot of fire extinguishers. I need like a pool to bring with me.
You know, speaking of that, Keith, I just found something came out in the post today. Get a load of this BYD. It's a Chinese
Oh.
company. It's the largest EV maker in China, right? They announced an ultra-fast EV charging system that says it's nearly as quick as a fill-up at the pump.
Yep.
They're saying that flash chargers can provide a full charge for their latest EVs within 5 to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they said similar to amount to fuel a tank, and they plan to build more than 4,000 of the new charging stations across China. I just want to know what the hell kind of flow they got going through that lightning pipe, man, because that's.
Gotta
I think
be
they do
juice.
2 chargers. They get 2 pipes. They get 2 cords going through it to charge it.
Okay, they didn't give any more information, so I was curious
Yeah,
about.
I think I saw something and like, oh yeah, they charge it with 2 of them. I think the batteries are layered, so this battery's getting charged, and this battery's getting, the different banks of batteries.
That's still a lot of current.
That's
That is. I wouldn't be.
I wish they would have given some numbers
Yeah.
for the geeks of us here that want to know that kind of stuff, because I'm curious what kind of current they're throwing down there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Don't sound safe to me.
And I'm sure they're doing it just to really be the first to do it, because that's one of the people's biggest concerns is the long time to charge if you're traveling.
Yep.
Right.
So, but that means you got to buy their car too.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Right. So
I wonder what's stopping them from doing a factory here and just selling them here. That's why we don't have them here, because there's China and there's the tariffs on them. But what's stopping them from building a factory and just putting all the other ones out of business?
Well, they've talked about that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the a handful of people say, okay, fine, we'll build and
yeah,
it's. I mean, like you said, it's got good and bad mixed into that, because it's either you're going to let you're still letting the bad guy in.
Yeah.
But then you're like, okay, well, we got jobs now, or we got this going on. But like I said, it's all a slippery slope. The way you're playing that.
Yeah.
I saw electric. Huh?
I was going to say, don't let them into California, because they've told us at times, don't charge your cars because the grid's overloaded.
I was just talking to my neighbor about that today. We were talking about electric cars, and I said, the first time we get a heat wave here in the summer, they put out an initiative. They put out the thing, hey,
brownouts,
set your ACs at 72, to save the grid. Yeah, so it's all just a joke.
Ray, do you have the thing where it's they charge electricity based on what time it is?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I got that also.
Yeah.
So it's more expensive to charge between 3 and 7.
Right.
So you can't charge your electric car between 3 and 7.
Well, you can. It'll just cost you more. So it depends. I mean, everybody's lifestyle is going to dictate what they do.
Yep.
And if you have to charge, you got to charge. So, yeah, it's crazy.
I haven't noticed that much difference in my electric bill since I've had the car. It's not that. Yeah, I mean, compared to, I would have been buying gas anyway, so it's probably
okay.
Yeah, offset it.
It probably wipes it. Yeah, it's probably offsets. What were you gonna say? Yeah, what were you gonna
say? So you're the electric guy. We're looking at maybe buying some electric bikes.
Well,
do you have any suggestions?
Go to that thing. No, I don't. Oh, what is this one? It's like my son keeps watching videos. So you got to get this one. It's like some dirt bike looking thing, and it hauls ass.
So a couple of people had them at the campground.
Yeah.
And some people said they want to buy mountain bikes and then put the kit on it from Amazon. But then some people say, well, you might as well spend a couple more bucks and get one from a company.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
One that my Suron. Oh God. There's one. So it's a Suron. He goes, Dad, I want to get this Suron. I go, I look it up. I'm looking up right now. $3,000, $6,000.
Oh, sure.
That's what I was like. You're not getting that. I'll get it, but you're not getting that. Yes, Suron USA. But they haul butt. I was watching the videos and they're Guy was going 80 miles an hour on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
Wow.
oh, this thing has how many horsepower? 80 horsepower or something like that.
That's
The
fast.
bike weighs,
Wow.
yeah. And I'm like, 80 horsepower on a bike on a dirt. I'm like, it's freaking a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Hold on, my cat locked himself in the bathroom. Let me go let him out.
So who else had a winter project?
I don't have winter.
Jeez.
I don't have winter projects.
You weren't
I
working
have
on anything this winter?
No, because there's no difference. I just work on them all the time.
Okay. Well, in the period of time we call winter. Yeah, we got a program.
No, I've been really just repairing my wife's 2014 Honda Odyssey, trying to keep that thing going.
Really?
She wants to keep it, so I just keep fixing it and fixing it.
What kind of repairs you been doing?
Everything: O2 sensors, brakes. Did I do timing? I don't know if I did timing. I think I did the timing adjuster, the whatever the thing was. I don't know. I've just whatever is making noises and wearing out.
Yeah,
fixing it.
Yeah.
So it almost has 200,000 miles on it, and
Wow.
just doing stuff to it.
Right.
Keep it on the road.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They don't rust out, so you just can keep fixing them.
Sure.
If it rusted out, you'd be like, it's not worth it. Get a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything
that's
else
where
is fine.
Ohio, man. I'm
Yeah.
down here in Florida, and I haven't seen a rusty truck yet. It's
No.
When
making
I
me
see-
mad.
When I see a rusty car, I'm like, holy cow! Come here, kids. Go check this out. Let me show you this. Look at this.
I'm like, oh my god, look at these trucks.
Yeah.
They're-
Well, that's that. What's that one TikTok guy? That Chris talked about. I can't remember. But the guy goes around and he's at a wrecking yard, and he goes around and he kicks the rust, and my kids get a kick out of it. Holy cow! Just kicks it, and his foot goes through the fender. It's like, yeah, Auto Parts City. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Auto Parts
So
City.
the
on
wife,
TikTok.
man, if I see a Chevy or a GMC truck down here, 4-door, it might be sitting at home. If I can find one with a blown motor.
Yeah, don't come to my house. You'll see my two. You'll be stealing them.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you got the GMCs.
Yep. I got 2 quadra-steer trucks and with no rust.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I got a tow package on the bus. Watch it.
Yep. But I don't know did I ever tell you the story? I don't know if I should. I'll tell it. So I was in the G8 club, and I would have, and I used to do this when I had the Cyclones Typhoon clubs. We would have like wrench sessions. Everybody would come over, would work on the trucks. So then I did the same thing for the G8s, the Pontiac G8s, and we had a bunch of people over, and we were working on, we just exhaust, doing whatever on the cars. We're gonna have a lift, so we put the guys' cars on lifts and stuff. I think one year we spent, I don't know how many hours doing a whole full exhaust system, headers and exhaust. That was one guy's car. I think we finished at like 1 a.m. or whatever. It's like, oh, this is, we were having a blast. It was fun. Then there's this guy that had a shop that does G8 repair. He just does LS swaps, and he had a G8, so he was in the club, and he was he was doing repairs and stuff like that on the cars. And he got and he heard that I was doing this stuff, and he got mad at me. Oh, you're having people come over and work on the cars, and you're taking business away from me.
Oh,
Really?
I was like, no.
There's enough to
These
go around.
guys, yeah, these guys weren't going to. Gosh, these guys weren't going to go to have you do the work anyway. They're more hands-on guys. They're, that's why they came over. It's not like I did the work. I was just helping. They were doing, we were all doing the work.
Right.
But yeah, I used to do it all the time. We used to always get together. Once a year, we would get together and just work on the cars.
If he was smart, he would have came and helped people work on their cars, because most people won't work on everything. They'll do a little bit here and there, and if he helped them,
oh, I want to do a cam swap. We wouldn't do a cam swap in a one day, or he would be the one that, all right, drop the car off, and he could have been advertising his business, and I would have been fine with that. He can come and tell us how to do it. But no, he's closed-minded. That guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So anybody know how to change fuel pressure sensor?
Pressure sensor.
Fuel pressure sensor. Well, you got to know where it is first on an 06 Rendezvous. Never worked on one of them.
A fuel pressure switch on a diesel pump.
No,
What are you
fuel
doing?
pressure sensor
No, had it
on a Rendezvous.
on the Rendezvous.
What's a rendezvous?
Buick Rendezvous.
Buick, yeah.
It's an Aztec, basically Aztec.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
We had a
Sensor.
I had a
What do you mean
2004.
fuel pressure regulator?
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't even know where it is on that car.
Regulator should be up on the throttle body, up on the fuel rail, rather.
YouTube it.
Yeah.
You have to take this, depressurize the system, and it's just a matter of, unscrew and replace.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody on YouTube has done it, and they'll show you exactly where to go and how to change it and everything.
Yeah.
And even what tools to use.
Yeah. Yep. YouTube's great.
Yeah, I've done a couple things on some of my cars from YouTube videos,
Oh yeah.
and my washing machine.
Yeah, I've done my washing
right.
machine, my refrigerator.
I'll tell you, it used to be, we used to joke about YouTube University and, how it was a bad thing. But now there's a lot of good stuff. And a lot of guys I know in shops, they go to YouTube and they look it up. They look it up. It now became more important to know how to vet the information.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the person. And I've gotten a lot of good stuff off of there too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So Keith, what's your address so I can send the transport truck?
Oh, sorry.
Come on, man. You can't be stingy with the rust-free trucks.
Isn't it
this
called
one-
Mar-a-Lago or something like that?
Yeah, Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, go there. Send the truck
go
there.
there.
See what happens.
Go there with an empty trailer. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Don't you here to pick up the cars? Actually, you're pretty close. You should go. Pull
Go
up
to
in the Jeep.
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, go to Mar-a-Lago.
I go there and hit a couple golf balls.
There you go. You're not that far away, I don't think.
Yeah, I think it's about an hour and a half from here.
You got to go south, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know where it is.
I thought it was down lower Florida, but it's up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, since you're gonna be stingy with the trucks, has anybody got a 8-foot tall enclosed trailer?
Oh, good luck with that.
Gosh, 8 foot.
Yeah, the guy I was with, his 8-foot, it was nice in there, man. He had cabinets up high.
That's got to be that's a custom built, right? Because that's not a normal size, is it? 8 foot?
No, I think you can buy 'em.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't think his was custom. He had solar on the roof, mini split in it, air conditioner. He had it going on, man.
Did he have the
Yep.
solar power in the mini split?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So this mini split here up front runs off solar too.
Right.
Let me show you. You see it? That one there?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that one I can hook directly to my solar panels and
Then
never
I'll-
have to hook it to anything else. Just straight to it.
You could probably take the tape off there.
Well, I don't want it's not hooked up yet, so I don't want the
Oh,
little flap thing to come down. Yeah.
I put so many mini splits. I have 2 mini splits sitting in my shed in my shop I don't even know they broke. They don't work.
Oh.
And I don't know if I should try fixing them or I don't know.
From what I've heard and seen on YouTube, because I have 6 of them in my house and I've looked at different things online, it's usually the circuit board in the control unit that goes bad.
Oh, really?
And certain ones were more prone than others
All right, I'll see you.
to going bad. So
I think
Yeah,
I
check it
replaced the
out.
circuit board in one of them because the water was leaking. It just leaked on the circuit board. It rusted
Oh,
the
wow.
board out.
Oh, yeah.
that's
It
not-
also dripped. Well, there's nobody living in the house to say, hey, this is leaking. So it just leak from condensation or the tube got clogged, and it ran down the wall, rotted the wall out, and
Wow.
it was
Oh,
a
God.
mobile home. After that, we're like, just throw it. We were renting a plot in a mobile home park. This is for my mother-in-law, and the mobile home wasn't worth after that whole wall was destroyed and destroyed the floor. It's so funny. It's like the particle board, and as
Yeah.
soon as it got wet, it just freaking disintegrated.
Yeah.
It swells up and falls apart.
Wells up and it fell apart. I walked in, I almost went through it. If it had like vinyl flooring, if that wasn't there, it would have fell in the ground.
You were talking earlier about the manufacturing of these RVs and the amount of money and the quality of it. That's just like my tool truck. My first one, the way it was built was one way, and then of course the other one, 16 years later, I get one, and man, it is just garbage. And I've had to redo so much. Actually, like I said, with the ceiling leaking, I've had I got to repair it again. I got to develop another leak, and like you said, those things just twist and flex so much, and they just fall apart. I got the aluminum staircase going into the truck is all cracked up, and like I said, it's just constantly, and I dumbfounded because my first truck, she may not have been a beauty queen, but she's nowhere near there was nowhere near that this one's turned out. And this one, man, when stuff falls off, it just falls off down the road and gets caught.
It's funny because last week Matt Michael did a video, his weekly video, and he was saying how he redid the tools on the roof of his truck. And he says, people don't realize how much weight is on that roof. And he was showing how the particle board, the panels he have, all the screws, they were pulling through from the weight. So he had to go through and tighten them up and put washers under them to spread the load. He said it's ridiculous. And I never really thought of it, but yeah, that's got to be hundreds of pounds up there.
Yeah, my old truck never had a problem. It was actually kind of funny. The first time I was driving, and of course, it's always the game we play when you're driving down the road, because you hear something fall and hit the floor. So you're always like, what was that? What was that thump, or what was that crash, or what was that bang, And you take a guess, and then you go back and look, and it's either a socket rail. The worst, though, is when that 81-piece tap and die set falls, and the case comes open, and you hear the shit splatter all over, or the 29-piece drill bit set, because that's just a mess. But going along the line, I was going and it was funny because it was a pretty loud crash in the back, and I'm like, holy crap! I'm thinking, did I forget to lock a toolbox drawer, or I didn't unstrap one. I've had one where I forgot. I unstrapped it and forgot to strap it back, and that one rolling around was a pretty interesting scenario. But I went back and half the roof fell off because those screws, they came, and that was all laying half of it, and I was like, God, so I try, monthly, kind of walk around. It's like that general maintenance. You check the water in the batteries in the back. Yeah, you check your tire pressure, and then you run around with your screwdriver and tighten up the screws on the ceiling.
Yeah,
and it's kind of crazy. So
you mentioned tire pressure. I bought a tire pressure thingamajiggy that shows me on the dash my tires.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's pretty nice. Hold on, let me grab the box. Got it right here, I think, in my couch. I got storage.
Was it a Bluetooth thing? You put
you put the sensors on.
Put the sensors on the valve stem, and it tells you what they're reading.
Yeah, there we go, right here.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
So it comes. This one I bought. It has 6 sensors, but you can buy more sensors, or you can buy a kit that has for trailers, for tow vehicles. So here's the sensor. This is number 4. I didn't put it on yet because
So is it about the size of a cap?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it screws right on the cap.
yeah, it's a little bit bigger, but
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't put I got 2 more to put on the inside tires, but I can't reach them because the valve stem's real deep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put those extenders on,
Yeah.
the valve stem extenders, then I'm gonna put the other 2 on. But it's pretty nice.
Word of advice on the extenders, or actually, I don't know. They have 2 different versions. They have ones that extend it out so that you can do it, or they have ones that link up so that, when you're filling a tire, it's filling both of them up.
Right.
Or
I
if
don't
you
like
have
that
one
idea.
that's starting to go low, it works out. It's just that you just don't want them both to go flat. I mean, if you got to notice it and not have it go. But whatever you do, spend a little bit of extra money and stay away from Amazon or the cheap ones, because I had some on the truck, and somehow it got damaged, and the guy that I bought the truck from, I guess he was going to replace it. That was one of the things that was wrong. He had torn one side of the truck up and had caught the brace. I mean, because I used to have the ones that were connected together and how they stuck out, and I don't know, it was messed up, and it would leak. But he had a set of just extenders, and I put them on, and man, it was like every couple weeks I was having, like, I can't believe my tire pressures are changing this much, or whatever. I was just always putting air in the tires, and so finally one day I got the old spray 9 out and sprayed them down, and it wasn't much there, but I would touch it and it would leak, and there was, with the way it was crimped. And of course I then did the same thing, bought a cheap pair, put it on, had the same problem. And after that I said, okay, I'll spend a few extra bucks, and never had a problem after that. Yeah. But by the time I went through all that stuff, it was just a pain in the butt. Especially if I had to do it all over again, I would get the maybe, because I got to do the rear tires coming up here, maybe next month. I think I'm going to go back and put the longer angled metal pipes on the inner ones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
what I think I'm going to use those.
Yeah, because I had those on my old truck and never had a problem trying to put air in the tire. And this one had the smaller ones. And man, that's just sometimes, I mean, if somebody drove by sometimes when I'm putting air in the tire, they think I'm making love to it. But man, you're all down in it and rolling around and got my ass sticking up in the air. And I'm like, damn, dude, this is like a hell of a workout just to put air in the tire.
Yeah.
So
that's why I got a screw-on extender, a flexible one.
Actually, I'm gonna get off.
And I just screw it on when I'm going to put air into the tire.
Yeah.
And take it off, because otherwise, like you're talking about, those extenders and that, they leak all the time.
Yeah.
And,
hey guys, I gotta get off. I gotta take care of something.
Okay,
all right.
Thank you, Jim.
Have a good weekend.
We had a really nice, it was like a size of a screwdriver. It was very similar to, but it had a hollow end here where you would hook the air hose would go to, and then on this end it was hollowed, and it had an end to go onto a tire, to put air in, and it was about this size. It was 20 years ago that we used to sell them. Really nice, because on the rear tires, when I had that angled thing, it fit real nice, and it was easy to hold on to, and you weren't spinning around with a flexible hose. And I stuck it someplace. I probably, unfortunately, set it on the ground when I was doing something and drove off.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to find it again. It's one of those things that.
So speaking of driving off, the other day, first time I put gas in the Jeep, so I take the cap off and it don't have the little
Strap.
holder thing on. Yeah, so I'll set it on the fender.
Yeah.
Filled up my gas can.
Later.
About 4 hours later, I noticed no gas cap. I'm like, oh.
You didn't get a check engine light?
No, I don't know why. I was like, this thing should be running rough. But
What year is that Jeep?
It's 14.
2014.
Yeah,
you should have gone through a drive cycle, and that son of a bitch should have came down saying a massive leak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Uh-oh.
I was surprised.
She's been played with.
Yeah.
Maybe. She's running good, though. I mean.
Oh,
Knock
so
on wood, yeah.
those sensors, how do you see the pressure? I'm assuming probably your phone, but is there another way? Is there another screen or something it hooks up to?
Oh, yeah. It comes with a screen that goes on your dash.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Nice.
Actually, hold on. Let me grab it.
And another thing on the dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a cockpit. Oh, yeah. Let me turn it on for you.
Oh, that's not too bad. A little small thing.
See, and it shows you your vehicle.
Yeah.
You can set it to show different vehicles, and it will run through each tire.
Huh.
Hold on, let me see here.
It's pretty cool.
If I was going to keep my truck, I was going to buy one of those because I had a tire go flat on me between one gas station and the next.
Yeah.
And I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
I
I had an inner one that went flat on me one time, and that was weird. Like I said, it was one of the first times. Now, like I said, it's funny driving that truck, exactly picking up everything. I guess the only time it was ever weird, the weirdest venture was when that toolbox, when I left it untied and it was rolling around in the back. And, 2,500 pounds rolling around in the back of the truck. And I was like, man, what the hell? I kept like stopping and getting out, walking around, kicking the tire, beating on the tires because it felt like because the truck was all going around turns. And man, I'm yanking on stuff, climbing underneath the truck, looking at stuff, and happened to walk by the door to get into the back of the truck. And I walk by and it's all black. Can't see in the truck. And I realized that was the toolbox, and it started coming down the door.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
So I was like, holy shit. So I had to get my lift gate because I couldn't open the door because the box was pushed up against the door. So I couldn't open the door. So I had to go back, put the lift gate down, come in through the back way, and then get the floor jack. Thank God I had a floor jack on the truck. Thank God it was a tool truck. Got the floor jack out, had to roll it up and jack the wheels so I can get it up off the step because one wheel fell down in the step well, and I couldn't pull it up. So I had to jack it up, pull it in, pushed it back in the pocket, put it in there. It was a little scratched up from bouncing around in the back of the truck. And went to my next stop, and the guy said, man, look at that box. And I said, yeah, look at it. It's a hell of a deal. It's a scratch and dent sell. Sold thing rolled around in the back of the truck. I tell you, man.
Always something.
Yeah. So double check your straps before you leave, or make sure you get guys that unlock a toolbox to look at them, and if you're not paying attention or realize And when one of those drawers come open, they really 2 or 3 turns, and next thing you know, the drawer comes, it busts the slides, and it comes out, and you makes a mess.
So I got a question for you guys. You might be able to help me. So when we get to campgrounds or wherever to park the bus, we got to level it out. Man, it's so hard to get your vehicle level. So I want to make some kind of levelers, maybe electric, because it don't have to pick up a lot of weight. It just has to move your vehicle a little bit.
Well, a long time ago on Motormouth Radio, we had this discussion with Chris about leveling, because I just went through this with the Mustang when I put it on jack stands, trying to get it level. And they do make jack stands that have a spin point so that you can spin them.
Nice.
And I don't know if I still have it. It might be on my old phone.
What the hell was he trying to level?
Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to level something. I don't know, working on that boat of his. And he was talking about, and I sent a picture, I guess, on the text line. Maybe I can look on. Oh no, it must have been to you. And it was a jack stand. They're called camping or RV jack stands.
Okay.
And they have a swivel head on top.
Oh,
and
I have those.
And you can adjust to get the right level.
I've even seen them like scissor jacks too. Where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I have the ones that spin up like a floor, like a
bottle jack.
Yeah. No, not a bottle jack, but it's like a jack stand, but it spins up.
Oh,
yeah.
But I got to get under the vehicle. I want to hit a button.
Oh, bougie. Well,
Yeah.
man, all you gotta do is get a. They have those.
They must have something.
Summit has them. They have those jacks that lift up the cars, and they're built right into the body. And you hook an airline right up to it, and it shoots and it blows them up, shoots them.
All right.
And all you gotta do. I mean, I'm sure you probably have to figure a way of regulating it, but it's probably just like the lift gate in the back. You could probably hook a motor and have it Bluetooth. I tried a Bluetooth for my lift gate. I tried a Bluetooth thing, but it was just too sensitive. I couldn't get that. I'd go 1 inch past the door or 1 inch before the door. I couldn't get. I'm over there bumping it, trying to get it to line up so I can roll the box out. I was like, I'll just go back to the old controller. But they had.
I have a Bluetooth. What do you call it? Leveler. It shows you your vehicle unlevel. So when you're pulling up with your jacks, you can see if your bus is getting level. It's pretty slick, but I don't think I keep moving the boards and the ramps and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a pain. That's always a pain in the butt trying to get that thing leveled. I do the same thing every once in a while. I get in a crazy spot where unloading a toolbox. And I try to get if anything, I want the truck to be leaning forward a little bit so that the box won't roll off the back of the lift gate. It will roll into the truck. It won't go as far. And because I've had a few of them where I didn't think I was that far off, and once those boxes start to move, man, they're moving, dude. You ain't stopping it.
Yeah.
And I've had.
I got my unit turned off, or I would show you. It's pretty slick. It shows you the vehicle from the top and the side where it's not level. Matter of fact, let me turn it on. I'll show you. Hold on.
So, Brian, what about like a winch or even a come along? If you could attach it to the box to kind of help slow it down.
You can do that. The only problem is they have something that if you want, the only problem that you have is because you're in the center of the truck doing this, you can't have anything fixed, because then when people are trying to walk in the truck, you got to step over this winch or whatever or thing, and the cable. They have them in some trucks, and it's a pain because that thing's where you walk. It's right in the center of the aisle when it comes out. Oh yeah, it's nice. Now
So it showed you front and back and side to side. So you see, I'm a little on the driver's side, down a little bit, and my back is down.
Right.
Yeah.
4 inches. Yeah.
So while you're moving, it's actually showing you. So when you get backing up onto your ramp or whatever, it's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Louis, I gotta say something. If I didn't know you, I would say you're an Asian guy, because you are so into that new tech stuff, and like all the Asian guys I know are like, they gotta have new Bluetooth. They love it. They eat it up.
I just have a little level, and I have air shocks, and I just put it however I want in the back.
A white guy. You got a little level. That's all.
A little level on the dash. I go, all right, we're good.
So basically, when it depends on if I'm doing a really big box by myself, I have an extra strap that I hook to the bottom of the wheels, and then I hook it to the inside of the truck, and I have, it's got a ratcheting on it. And I just let it out slowly, and when I'm coming down, I do have a E-track on the lift gate where I can actually strap it down and hook it, because I got a small cable. Small strap that has a J hook in it that I can hook into a wheel, and then I put it into the E cable, and it won't go, because I've had one get away from me. And thank God it was a Snap-on box. And the only reason why it was a 3-bay box, so it was 78 inches long.
Wow.
And when it went off the truck, when the front wheels went off, I was 3 feet up in the air. I mean, it was up in the air, and when it went off, it fell, and the body of the toolbox stopped, so it was teetering on the lift gate.
Okay.
So I was able to, actually, it was kind of funny. I was holding on to the box, and I was like stretching, trying to get to the controller, and I couldn't get to the controller. So this dude was walking by, and his eyes got about that big because he's seeing this box hanging, and I'm holding on. I was like, "Hey, dude, give me that controller." And he's like, "This thing?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, I said, "Just push the down button. Just, either push the down button or give me the controller." So he finally gave me the controller.
Dude, how much money you got on you?
So I'm holding the box. He gives me the controller, and I bring it down, and he was like, "Holy crap!" So because it had a Snap-on box, they only have 4 wheels.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a Matco box, it would have had 6. It would have gone right off. It would have been a freight train right off the box into the ground, because when it fell, it dragged across the bottom of the box. And that's what stopped it. It was teetering. So after that, I said, okay. And that was, like I said, I've been lucky through the years, all the years of doing it, that I've never lost a box. Really lost. I mean, there's guys that have dropped them or have them come off, and it really makes a mess.
Yeah.
So, but after that, I said, okay, I got to put some safety in. I got to put some straps so that
won't happen again.
If I tie it to the truck, it can only go so far.
Right.
So,
all right.
So I tell them, when guys say they want to help me, I tell them, man, I said, this thing starts to go, move out of the way.
Oh, hell
it
yeah.
will crush you, dude.
Yeah.
It's, 2,500 pounds or whatever on some of those boxes. Right. It's a lot of weight falling.
And that's empty.
That's empty.
Empty, yeah.
Whew.
So now to back up a bit, talking about winter projects. I forgot. I got this steering column I got to put in. My winter projects become spring projects. because it's like
We
too
didn't
cold.
have a winter.
It's too cold in the winter. I got a couple more things now for my power. I showed these to Chris on Sunday, but one of the things I want to do is I want to add that wiper controller, windshield wiper controller. It goes between the switch and the motor, which is no big deal. The switch and the harness, but you have to put a power and ground to it. And on my car, I have the stock fuse box, not a lot of extra taps, and I'm kind of out of taps. So what I did was I bought this.
Mm-hmm.
It's an add-on fuse box. So it's a 6-circuit fuse box that I'll stick somewhere under there, put a power and ground to it, and I will then be able to add a few more taps. But then under the hood, I'm having trouble there too, because now I want to put electric fans on the car. So I got to wire 2 more relays. And one of the things my friend Kevin and I do, we go to cruise nights, and we're always making fun, and we're taking pictures of the guys, like how many things can they stick on the battery terminals? You know, it starts to look like an octopus. And I got a few on mine too, because a lot of stuff has to go to the battery, and it's starting to bother me. So what I did was I bought this. So it's a 6-circuit relay box with fuses. The problem is it's got a predetermined cable that's like only this long. So I had to find some place that close to the battery.
You can change that.
Well, basically what I'm doing is I'm building like a framework around the front of my battery that I can mount that to, and then it'll hook right up to the positive cable, and I can power stuff off of it. You find out real fast how fast you run out of room in an engine compartment. Yeah. And I hate adding more stuff, but I got to do it. I need the.
Can you do it on the backside under the fender?
Well, on my car, the battery is on the driver's side. It's on the left side, up in the front, and I have that cove, that empty part in front of the fender well. The problem is that's where I already stuck the headlight relays.
Yeah.
And at one time I had a problem with, I had a headlight that was giving me an issue, and I had to diagnose it. So I had to get to the relays, and it was stuffed up in front of the battery, nice and out of the way. Well, now they were nice and out of the way. Yeah. So I couldn't get at them. I had to literally just pull them around to the side. So this'll let me, give me that availability. Unfortunately, I got to put it right. You got to put it where you can get at it. Is all it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wish this was stuff I would have thought of when I was building the car, a long time ago, because I could have. I don't know what I would have done, but I, might have been able to do something different. But, so now it's got to be done.
For the days of my '72 Chevy pickup, I had enough room under that hood. I could sit on the fender well and work on the engine when it was raining.
Yeah.
Haven't had any vehicle with that much room since.
Pop Squirrel, I typically do actually climb in under the hood on a lot of cars I'm working on. I'll just climb up in and get on the engine just so I can do stuff, because I'm not tall, so stretching only goes so far, and I'll climb in there. And sometimes I get my foot stuck, because you put it down and you're like resting on a sway bar or something, and then you try and get out and your foot is stuck. You can't get out. Like, oh shit.
I wish I was small, because the other day when I was in the back here cleaning up the cutting out the inner shock towers, wheel wells, and then I said, and the gas tank is removed, so there's a big square there, and I said, oh, I could fit in there. By the time I climbed in there, my fat ass, there was a lot of real estate. I took up the gas tank space, so I was stuck under the car. So climbing around trying to make room.
As long as you don't have to cut your way out, you're okay.
Yeah, well, I tell you, you'd say, oh, that's enough room, but they didn't make enough room for us big guys to get in that stuff.
Yeah, you can get
climbing around. And like I was given the last weekend, I don't know, I must have moved this car about moved the height in about 4 different times, trying to get the right angle. I mean, the right height to work on comfortably. And it's either I'm laying flat on my back or I got to be in a 45.
You have the car in jack stands?
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I raised it up. I'm going to try to get it a little higher. It's almost at a okay height. I just hate my knees. I can't be on my knees.
Yeah.
I mean, my knees are so bad, and trying to, like I said, I don't know. I wish I can find that right height.
And that's a problem when it's fixed like that, because it's not easy to move. That's why I bought those quick jack lifts.
Yeah.
So you can move those up and down. It gives you that availability. Not that I'm usually not just put the car all the way up and that's it, but
yeah,
it gives you the ability to do that.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm trying very hard to stay focused in that and not get fixated on next thing putting a lift in or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just try really hard. I got it. I don't know. I got it in an all right place. I really wish I could move it around more. I mean, every time if I had to move it around, it's a pain in the ass.
I mean, it comes down to really what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, for a lot of stuff, the rotisserie is really a great answer.
Yeah, I keep going back and forth with that, and to be honest, I'd buy one if I had something else to use. If I knew I was going to use it on something else, and I just can't see really buying it. I'd rather work through it instead of spending the money.
Yeah. I didn't use one on my car, but
I've already seen where it would be nice, and my only I don't know. Like I said, if I could just get it I haven't really found the right height yet for me to be comfortable working on it. So I had it too high, and then I couldn't reach through. I had to come up underneath to go through the trunk. Go through where the gas tank was, because I couldn't on the outside of the car. I couldn't do anything with the mini tubs. I couldn't get to it unless I was going to climb through the car and go through. And again, I'm just trying to. I don't know. I don't want to bitch about it, but my knees can't take it.
Yeah.
So
can't take it.
I was telling Louis before, my Mustang guy is working on his car at the shop because Mike is so benevolent. He's letting him work on it at the shop.
Yeah,
which is great. It's a fully functioning body shop, man. And they're doing work every day, so it's nice that he could do that. He let me do the same thing when my car was in there. And last week I went to check on him, and he used some kind of like a very light bed liner material, and he just kind of painted the whole bottom of the car. So I'm under the car on the lift, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, I see all these little pieces that he missed. I said, how did you put this on? Did you spray this? He goes, no, I put it on with a brush, brush. So I said, dude, you got to put this stuff in a gun and, reduce it down and mix it and spray it. You get all these little spots that you missed. And then we noticed that he painted the exhaust and everything. Yeah. So Mike came over and says, did you paint the exhaust? He's like, yeah. He's like, what did you do that for? Well, it was under the car and it was kind of rusty. So I figured, he was like, dude, that's hopefully it'll burn off, but
it's going to stink like a mother.
He said, yeah, you're not supposed to. I said, I know, obviously this exhaust should be changed at some point, but man, that's going to be. I said, well, now at least it won't be the only thing smoking in the car. That'll be from the motor and from the exhaust. So it's
been really, of course, I guess when I was younger and all the time I spent underneath the car, you know, you never really paid attention to certain things.
Right.
You know, like I said, I lived under this car. If I
Oh, yeah?
wasn't putting a rear end in, I was putting a drive shaft. And if I wasn't putting a drive shaft in, I was putting a transmission in. You know, like I said, all the reason why I didn't have a girlfriend in high school because I smelled like 90 weight. Because you know, I bathed in this 90 weight. Everything
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you know, you would think that I wore 90 weight cologne because
I had the same exact life.
you
with my
know,
car.
and but it was really interesting. Now I had a guy, and this is right before we got married and bought the house. I had a guy put floors in, you know, the floor's been replaced. The floor was rusted, and he put the floors and quarters on the car. And so, like I said, that part of the body work was all done. And it was funny being up underneath of it and going through, coming across, still seeing the factory red primer on the places that he didn't repair.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and I'm like, wow, man, and of course, you know, now he had used that. What's that primer? What's the yellow stuff? I mean, the
yellow stuff is the catalytic, the stuff with the catalytic.
yeah. So like where he did when he put the floors in, all that stuff, you know, he sprayed.
Right.
And the car, you know, when he did the quarters and the doors, and I took the original fenders, which at the time I wish I had repaired, but I chucked them, so I don't have any fenders. That's why I don't have any fenders.
Right.
And so I'm thinking the whole time, like, and of course, you know, the old wheel wells, you know, and like around the up front when you know, in the engine bay, not the engine bay, but on the outside of the engine bay, it was undercoating there, you know. Somebody had put undercoating there. And I'm like, man, was this what you were talking about doing on the bottom of the floor? Is like, do I want to put it back to that red, you know, the red oxide because it looks so cool?
Yeah.
You know, or do I undercoat it like with this guy the big thing everybody uses that the truck bed liner stuff to.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I used on my car too. But it was the oh shit, he told me the name of the product too, and I can't remember it. But
you painted the bottom of your car is the color of your car.
No, it's black. Black. It's a bed liner. It's a very, very fine.
That picture you sent me, Ray. I don't know. Maybe
somebody else's car. It's a very.
I had too much tequila.
Yeah, it's a very fine black bed liner because I didn't want it to look like bed liner. I want it to kind of look like just paint, and it does.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's black.
Yeah. See, I'm going back and forth. It was a bed liner because I was going back and forth. And
you can get bed liner in colors too. Get it in that red.
Yeah. Well, I could always paint over the bed liner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is black. I'm sorry. I thought it was.
That's all right.
I thought it was.
I knew it was.
Yeah, I know.
I was just wondering what the hell you were seeing.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was. Maybe, I guess what really throws me off, I still can't get over how silver your exhaust is.
Well, the headers are jet hot coated, and the pipes and mufflers, that's just Flowmaster, out of the box Flowmaster. I tell you now, speaking of that, I went and helped my friend Paul put the exhaust in his Scorpion. Justin's saying it was something with an S, but it wasn't Scorpion. But tintable, that's pretty cool. So I went over to Paul's house and we put the exhaust in his GTX last week, and he bought a TTI exhaust. So I was kind of ribbing Chris about it, but it ends up Chris had put a TTI exhaust on his car too. I never thought he'd go for the money, but he did.
Yeah.
And it was only because he said there was nobody else that made it. So Paul bought a 2.5-inch mandrel bent, beautiful system. It just lined up under that car, high and tight and perfect, and very, very nice. Worth
Yeah, I was surprised on how that would look really nice.
Yeah, worth the money. Definitely worth the money.
I have some tentable bed liner stuff that I had picked up because I thought about. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I'm stuck between. I don't know if I really want the bed liner. I don't know. I just don't like the way it. Sometimes I don't like the way it looks.
Well, that's why I said you can use its varying degrees of coarseness, and I went with very, very fine, almost like paint. I didn't want it to look rough.
Yeah,
and it doesn't. It's like paint.
And then part of me, I love. I did it too. I've done it on other things, but I love having a I guess a light gray. Just that inner structure just being gray, and then having the regular paint. But I just love that. I guess the cleanness of that, just having
nice.
a gray, like I said, if I paint it after I get done and do the floor, the floors, trunk, everything inside the car gray, that part of it instead of. Because I used to have that stupid. I hated the Ford speckle paint, the bed line, the trunk paint bullshit.
That's what we just did my trunk in.
Yeah. I did. I just don't. I don't know.
And that stuff wasn't available. It was not even in the catalogs. It wasn't available for years. It just so happened when I had my car in the shop, they called the auto parts store right by my house because they sell paint also. And they asked if they had the trunk paint. In my year, it's aqua and black.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice. And they said, yeah, we just got a case of it and we haven't had it for years. And he said, you know what? All right, we're going to come. So I happen to show up at the shop and he tells me, he goes, hey, the guy right by your house has it. Pick me up 5 cans and bring it back tomorrow. All right. So I get to the store and there was 1 can missing out of the case. So I said, you know what? Give me the whole case. I'll take the whole case of it. And brought it back to the shop because they just can't find it.
Yeah.
The stuff. But
hey, what is it, black paint with like little blue things in it?
Yeah, it's like yeah. I mean, Keith, it's what GM used in the trunks time. And there were a couple different colors. It was like gray and black. Mine was aqua with black.
Yeah.
Depends on what year. But the thing is, everybody's doing this. We're all using bed liner, we're using paint, 415, you name it. The reality is these cars aren't going to see the snow and the ice and the crud. They're going to live in a garage in the bad weather. They're never going to have that stuff on them anymore.
Yeah, they're not going to see the elements anymore.
No, not at all.
Used to.
Let's take a minute to sign off.
Okay, good idea.
I didn't mean to offend anybody with your trunk paint.
Speckle paint, yeah.
So everybody in the chat and YouTube and Facebook, we'd like to thank you for coming to hang out with us. And we do this every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So we're going to sign off now so we don't run up our bill. And please check us out on powertubetv.com and you can see all of the previous shows. And we appreciate you. Next week, Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time.